Yeah, so in our previous class, like we have discussed about we have discussed about like what is a class, and also we have discussed about string operations and also types of attributes and types of instances. So today we'll discuss about the standard module. So here, like I just mentioned, only about one. So, but we will discuss about so many different standard modules. So you can see, so inside to these standard modules, we have like so many different things. Like in T-Box automation tools, we have like basic window operations, buffers, expressions, files, folders, numeric process, and also in T-Box X engines, we have like so many different standard modules available. So I hope like everyone knows what is the standard module. So do you guys aware? So what is the standard module? Yes or no, guys? Are you guys aware like what is standard module?
Like pre-built functions.
Sorry, what is that?
Inbuilt provided by Tricentis Tosca.
Yes, correct. So that like we can reuse it. So instead of creating a new module, so we can reuse it whenever it is required. Okay. And in these standard modules, like let's go one by one, like based upon the like maybe like mostly used in the real-time scenarios, like we'll just explain. So which are mostly used in all the scenarios. So let's start with the first one in the T-Box automation tools, basic window operations. So let's start with the T-Box take screenshot. So everyone knows like how to take a screenshot. So this we have already discussed in our previous class. So I don't want to discuss again about this. So let's see about the T-Box clipboard. So let me create a test case. So let's me create with standard modules. Okay. So I'll just create it in a separate tab and let me close all these things. Okay. So this is my test case. So I will just pull the standard modules T-Box clipboard. Okay, so let me explain like how we can use it. So basically for every system, like we'll be having a separate particular thing called a clipboard. Suppose let's say I'm writing one value, okay, like milestone. Okay, so now I have copied this. Okay, just press Control C. So whenever I'm doing a Control C, it will copy to the clipboard. So if you want to view that, if you press Windows V, so directly you can see the value. See, milestone. So milestone has been copied to my clipboard. So this is like a manual activity. Like you are just selecting the value and you're clicking on Control C so that it will copy to your clipboard. But in Tosca, like instead of doing this manual work, if you are having any value, so that needs to be copied to your clipboard by using Tosca. So then we need to use the standard module called a T-Box clipboard. So now you can see, suppose let's say I want to copy this value to my clipboard. Okay, so I just given a value as Pavan Verma. So now, now my clipboard value is having only milestone. Okay, so now if I run this, it will copy the value as Pavan Verma to my clipboard. So you can see Windows V, particular value, like whatever we have passed to Tosca, it got copied to my clipboard. So in this way, we can use the standard module T-Box clipboard. Okay, and coming to the next one, T-Box send keys. So this T-Box send keys is very, very, very important, guys, in the real-time scenarios. So this will help us in different scenarios. Okay, suppose like what will happen. So let me show you a simple example first. So you just copied a value, Pavan Verma. It is like Control C. So if you want to paste something, so what you will do, guys? So in a laptop or computer, whatever it is, if you want to paste, so what is the shortcut key?
Control V.
Control V. So now it's already copied. So if you see my clipboard, Pavan Verma has been copied. If I want to paste that value, so then I can use the particular standard module called T box and keys. So here I can just write Control S so that it will just paste that particular value. So for this Control S, there is a syntax. So you just need to open cap. So you can see at the 6, maybe in the 6 button, 6 number, you can see this kind of symbol which is called cap. And I will just write as S or V. Like if I want to paste something, Control V. So now what will happen? It will just paste the value, whatever it is available on my clipboard. So let's say I'm just keeping my cursor here. You can see down to the milestone. So if I execute this T box and keys, it should paste the value. See, it has pasted the value as a Pawan Verma. So in this way, we can use the standard module T-box and keys. It's not like only about the paste. You can do anything. Suppose, let's say, let me open demo web shop. Okay. Okay. So here, like if I want to register. So tell me one thing, like if I want to enter my first name. So what we will do generally? What is the general process? So what is the general process, guys, to enter some first name in Tosca? So what is the prerequisite you need to do? So what we need to do, guys, like if you want to enter some value here in Tosca, so what we need to do?
Scan the module.
You scan the
Yes. So scanning the module is the first thing. So then we will create a, so once the module part is done, so what we need to do? We need to, which one we need to create?
You need to enter the text in value and the input as.
So we need to create a test case. So then like we just need to drag and drop the module inside to the test. So now by using this send keys, so if you observe, this is the standard module. I will just give the name as power. Okay. So now right click and run. So now it will enter the value directly on the first name. See, I have not created any module. I have not done anything. So I just simply use the standard module tbox end case and I just given the value as a power. So how it is getting entered means, so if you observe clearly, wherever the cursor is located, see now the cursor is located after power. So if you execute this step, so it will enter the value over there. So it doesn't depends like if it is either at the first name or second name or email, it doesn't matter. It will blindly enter the value. So if the cursor is at email, so if you execute this step, okay, so it will enter the value over there. So if the cursor is at the, maybe let's say at the notepad, okay, so if you execute this, it will enter it on the notepad. See? So in this way, like this send keys, it doesn't depends upon the object name. So wherever the cursor is located, it will perform that action. So this is like basically we can use it for input fields and also you can use it for control V if you want to save anything, control S, or if you want to navigate to tabs. Suppose let's say if you are located at this point, so maybe at the search store, the cursor is at the search store. And if you want to navigate, like click on tab, 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 tab. See, I'm trying to click on tab button. So if you want to press like this, maybe in that case, what we can do, so just go to standard modules, just write it as tab, open curly braces, tab. Okay, so now let's say the cursor is at the search. So you can see search store. So now if I execute this, it will navigate to the search button. You just closely observe. Okay, see, it navigated to the search button. So in this way also we can use, like if you want to click enter. So let's say I want to click on this search button like this. Okay, so now the cursor is at the search and I want to click on this search button. So what I will do, I will just remove this tab and I will just give it as enter so that it will click on that particular button. See, it clicked on the search button and we got a pop-up as well. So in this way, we can use the T-box and keys. So this is very, very important. So why we will use means sometimes what will happen. So let's say you need to click on the search button. Okay, you tried with all the different scenarios. You tried with identify by index, image like anchor or properties, and you tried with different engines like you tried with recording. You tried everything, whatever it is possible, but still you are not able to scan the search button. Let's say that is the scenario. So then what we can do, we can just simply click on the search store and use T-box end keys and press a tab button and then click on the enter button. That's all. See? So this is working fine. So in these scenarios, like mainly we will use the T-box end keys standard module. So either like if you want to save something, or if you want to click on shift button or tab button or enter button, or so maybe control V if you want to paste something or if you want to save something. So for all these scenarios, like we will use the T box end case. So this is like very, very important standard module in real time scenarios. Because in web applications, so what will happen? You will find few scenarios like where you cannot scan few fields. It will say like it is not uniquely identified, or it will say like object not found. There will be few scenarios like that. So then we need to use this T-box and key standard module. Okay. So this is like very simple one. So you can just have a try. You can just practice yourself. Okay. And coming to the next one, T-box a window operation. Okay. And scroll window, and let me copy all these four. We can just go one by one. Okay. I'm just copying everything. So T-box a window operation. So where we can use this window operation. Suppose let's say you can see this is particular one window which we have opened with the demo web shop. So maybe this particular window is something like minimized. Okay. So now if you want to maximize this particular screen, so now it is in the minimize mode. So if you want to maximize this particular screen, so then what we can do, we can just give the caption. So let's say demo star and operation. So we do have like different operations available here. Suppose let's say I want to maximize it. So right click and run. See, the particular screen got maximized. And also like if you want to minimize it, you can do that. So we do have minimize. And if you want to close that particular window, you can do that. And if you want to wait for some time, you can do that. And also if you want to verify whether the window exists or not, you can do. If you want to move to center. So these are all options available in the T-box window operation. So this you need to give the caption because it is mandatory, like for which screen you want to do the maximize, either for the demo web shop or maybe if you are having few other browsers. So that also you need to mention clearly which exact window name you need to provide. Okay. And also you can try with all these scenarios. Just 1 second, guys. Just one. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So in this way, we can use the T-box window operation. Maybe you can just try all these scenarios. Like if you want to close, bring to front, minimize, wait on, resize, verify window exists. You can just try it out all these different things. Okay. And coming to the next one, T-box scroll a window operation. So what is this scroll window operation? So now let's say if you want to scroll down something like this, you are having one of the scroll here. In few scenarios, maybe at the down also you will have few scenarios. So let's say we don't have here. Okay. So let's say 1 second. So let me take one scenario. Okay, we don't have scroll here. Okay. So now let's say if you want to scroll down, or maybe if you want to scroll here, like if there is any particular scroll here, so then we can use the standard module T-box scroll window operation. So here we need to give the particular title. So let's say demo is the title. Okay. And like if you want to scroll vertical, so let's say I want to scroll vertical, I will just give 100 px. So it is like kind of a pixels. So if you run this, it will scroll like this much pixel level to the bottom. See, it scrolled. And if you want to scroll bit down, so you can give it as 500. So now it will scroll bit more to the bottom. See, in this way, like we can use the a T-box scroll window operation. Like if there is any horizontal scroll, so here like we don't have any horizontal, we have only vertical. So if there is any scroll down to the like down scroll, so then we can use this particular horizontal scroll as well. Okay, so this is one of the standard module T-box scroll window operation. And coming to the next one, a tbox save as. So this is also one of the important standard module whenever you're working on any file operations. So now let's say I created one particular. So this is like, okay, let's create one new one. Let's say milestone. Okay. So now I created one notepad. I need to save this. Okay. So if I press on Control S, I will be getting a pop-up like this. You can see in this pop-up, I need to enter the file name and I need to enter the directory and then click on Save button. So if you are having a pop-up like this, like Save As pop-up, so then we can use the standard module tbox Save As. Okay, so you no need to scan that particular thing. So let's say I will create one particular new folder. Okay, so you can see I just created a particular, okay, created a particular folder called delete. So in this delete, I just want to save that file. So what I will do, so in this tbox save as, like we need to give the particular caption. So the caption of this particular tbox save as is save as. So we need to provide that save as. So I will just give a star. And file path. So what is the path? So where you want to exactly store that particular file. So that you need to mention. So I will just give delete. Got stored about 1 second. Okay, so let me copy the path. This is the path. It will store. Okay, and I will just give a delete a dot txt. Okay, so I just mentioned the file path and also I need to give the name test.txt. Okay, so now I'm just trying to enter the file path and I just given the action mode as input, and also I need to give the button. So which button I need to press after pressing on Control S. So you can see there is a save button. So we need to give it as save here. Okay, so let me execute this. So it should enter the file path and click on save button. See, it entered the particular value and clicked on the save button. And also you can observe the name has been updated test.txt. And you can see inside to the delete. So we have created a particular test. So in this way, like we can use the standard module tbox save as. So that means if you are having anything pop up like that, which is having, which we need to save it, maybe any document or Excel or whatever it is. Like if you are if you are similar to the particular screen, so then we can just use the standard module tbox save as. Okay, so here like it's very simple. You just need to give the caption and give the file path. So where exactly that particular file needs to be stored, and also you need to give the save button as well because you are trying to save the particular file. Coming to the next one, tbox dialog. So what is this tbox dialog? So now let's take an example. So maybe in this demo web shop only. Okay, so in this demo web shop, let's say, so here you can see there is a pop-up demo webshop.tricentis.com says please enter some search keyword. So I need to, maybe I need to click on OK. If there is any button called cancel, I need to click on cancel. So in this scenario, I need to click on OK. So if you are having any pop-up like this, so then we can use the standard module called tbox a dialog. So how we can use it? So in this tbox dialog, so we just need to give a caption. So what is the caption of the particular pop-up? So the caption of the pop-up is demo webshop.tricentis.com says, let me type that. Demo webshop.tricentis.com says. I think so. Let me check. Yeah, demo webshop.tricentis.com says. Okay, so and what is the label? So label in the sense like if you are having any field inside to this, you can just give, or else like you can just leave it as empty. And coming to the button, so here you can see, but by default there are like few buttons like OK, cancel, yes, no, and all. So we need to click on OK. But if you observe clearly, so this OK, both are like capital letters, but we are having by default O is small capital and K is a small. So for that we need to replace the value like this. Okay, and also maybe we can just give the particular test configuration parameter as Chrome, as we are doing it on Chrome. So now if you run this, it should click on the OK button. I think it got failed. So let's see what is the reason. The window with caption not found. Okay, maybe we have given something wrong. Let's remove this. Keep it as a star. Let's try to enter. Please enter some search keyword. Let's see. Please enter some search keyword. Okay, I think there is some issue with this particular extension, I believe. Okay, I'll just check this. Maybe tomorrow we can just discuss on this particular standard module because it should work. So let's see. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So T-box save as like it's completed dialog. I will just have a look. So why it is getting failed. And T-box context menu. So this is not required. So you can just skip this. And also we have discussed previously about the buffer operations. Like if you guys remember about the set buffer, name to buffer, delete buffer, partial buffer. So do you guys remember all these buffer operations? Yes or no, guys? Do you guys remember about all these buffer operations like we have discussed so many times?
Yes.
Okay, so you can just go
Mhm.
through that previous video. So we have already discussed about set buffer. Like if you want to set any specific buffer to a particular buffer name, so then similar to this, so then we can use the tbox set buffer, and the name to buffer means like if you want to find the test case name, so that too it will work only on the execution list. So then we can use tbox name to buffer. And partial buffer mean, so anyone remember like what is this partial buffer?
Offers the parts of the name.
Correct. Yes. If you want to store like first five digits or last five digits or starting from the sixth digit, so then we can use the a partial buffer. And delete buffer is something like if you want to delete any existing buffer, like then we can use tbox a delete buffer standard module. So you can just have a look if you are having any doubts, just go through our previous recording. Okay. And coming to the expression evaluation, so you can see we do have a specific standard module, T-box evaluation tool. So this T-box evaluation tool basically it will just verify two different values. Like if you want to verify whether it is greater than or equal to or less than, so then we can use this particular T-box evaluation tool. So let's say 100, I want to verify it with 10, like whether it is greater than or less than. So then we can use this kind of standard module T-box evaluation tool. So now if you run, so definitely it will pass. Okay, you can see if you go to the Scratchbook, T-box evaluation tool, 100 greater than 10 evaluated to true. So the output for this particular standard module so will be either in the true or in the false format. So now if you go to standard module and again like if you want to do some negative, so let's say 100 is less than 10. So definitely it will fail and the result will be set to false. See, has been set to a false. So in this way, we can use the T-box evaluation tool standard module. Okay. And coming to the file operations and folder operations. So these two are like bit similar. So let's go with this file operations. Let me copy the file operations. Okay. So coming to the first one. So T-box image compare. So when we can use this image compare. So let's say I don't have like two images currently. So if you are having two images, okay, let's say like image one and image two. So if you want to compare both the images, whether the images are same or not. So then we can use the T-box image compare. So you just need to give the path. So where exactly the first image is located, and also you can give the second image file path, so where exactly it is located. So then it will compare whether both the images are similar or not. So then we can use the T-box image compare standard module. Okay. And this is like not that much important in the real time scenario. So if you want, like you can just try it out. T-box file existence. So this is very important, guys. So T-box file existence standard module. So if you observe the name, so here itself you can understand file existence. So if you want to verify whether a file exists or not in your machine or local machine or whatever it is, so then we can use the standard module T-box file existence. So let's say maybe we have created one particular file, right? So this particular test file. Okay, so we will verify whether that particular file is exist or not. So here we need to give the directory and here we need to give the file name. So if you run this, so definitely it should pass because the file is existent in my machine. See, verification was successful. But if you're giving something else, so let's say test123, which is not exist in my machine. If you run this, it will fail for sure. So you can see the verification has been failed because expected value, you should find a file at this particular directory, but the file does not exist. So in this way, like we can use the standard module file existence. So if you want to find any specific file, whether it is exist or not, so then we can use T-box file existence standard module. Okay. And T-box file compare. So what is this file compare? So if you want to compare two files, so let's say we will use the same thing. Okay. So this is one file which we have. So I will just create one more. Okay. I just created one more. One is test and one is a test one. Okay. Let me copy this and paste. So if you run this like test and test one, so if you are comparing both the files, so then definitely it will fail because test is having some data and test one is like completely empty. So you can see the verification has been failed. The contents of the files are not identical. So that means if you want to compare any two files, so then we can use this standard module file T-box file compare. So now let's say I will just copy these two and paste it here and I will save it. Okay, so now both test and test one is having the same data. You can see test is having the same data and test one is also having the same data. So now if you run this, it should pass for sure because both the files are having the same data. See? It got passed. It got passed, and the result is the content of the files are identical. So in this way, like if you want to compare any two files, so then we can use the standard module tbox file compare. And there is like one more which is called delete file. So suppose let's say if I want to delete this file one, I need to give the directory and I need to give the file name. So now if you run this, it will delete that particular file. So you can see execution completed and test one has been deleted. So if you want to cross verify, so just navigate to delete. You can see test one has been deleted successfully. So in this way, we can use the standard module tbox delete a file. Okay, so this is also very simple. You just need to give the directory and you just need to give the file name. Tbox copy file. So what is this copy file? So if you want to copy some specific data or whatever it is from the source to any target, so then we can use the standard module a tbox copy file. Suppose let's say I'm just selecting the first one, is test. Okay, this is the source and there is a target. So I will just create one more for our reference. Okay, let's give it as test one. And I will just simply select the path. Directory and file. So now I just given the source and the target. Okay, let's see why it got failed. Okay, it's already exist. So you can see we'll just give like test 2. So right click and run. So now you can see we just copied like from the file 1 to test 1 to test 2. So now if you open see, automatically it created a particular new file and also it has inputted the value as milestone. Okay. So that means if you want to like copy from a source to target, so then directly we can use the standard module tbox copy a file. So if you want to give the source name, like what is the source, which file you want to copy, and you need to give the target. So if you want to create a new one, so directly you can do that by using this true. And if you want to create or enter the value in existing one, so then directly you can give it as a false so that it will not create a new one. So in this way, we can use the standard module tbox copy file. And coming to the read or create file. So what is this read or create file? So if you want to store some data from the particular existing file, or if you want to create a new file, or if you want to verify the data in the file, so then we can use this particular standard module tbox read or create file. So now let's say I will just give the directory. So we'll just copy the same thing. Okay. We'll say test2.txt. And the text I will give something like testing 1, 2, 3. So now if I execute this, okay, so I just given a value called testing 1, 2, 3. So now let's me open this. See, a value testing 1, 1, 2, 3 has been input to this particular value test2.txt. So that means like if you want to enter any specific data to a particular file, so then we can use this tbox read or create file. And also like if you want to create a new one, so that also you can do. Like if you say, like if you give like 23, test 23, it will create a new one and it will just input the value. So that means either you can just verify the data or you can input the data or you can create a new file. Anything we can do it by using tbox read or create a file. So this is also a very important standard module. And append file. So this is not that much important. We can ignore it. And tbox move or a rename file. So what is this move or a rename file? So that means, so let's say if you want to rename any file name. So if you see, there is a particular value called test. So if you want to rename this test to testing, okay, so that is our scenario. So then what we can do, just copy this. Okay. So here, like you need to rename it with testing. Okay. So now you can just observe. So the particular file name is test. So I want to replace this test to testing. So then we can use this particular move or rename file. So if you execute this, it should change the particular value. See, the particular test has been updated to the testing. You can observe it. Okay. So in this way, we can use the particular standard module move or rename file. So even if you want to change the directory, so that also you can do, like directly you can give it as a D drive, or if you want to give it as Z drive, so that also we can do it. So that means even directory you can change, or you can change the name as well. Okay. So I think like we are having only few seconds. Look, you can just drop off. So please rejoin everyone. We can continue.